گردهمایی و راهپیمایی در واشینگتن همزمان با روز جهانی زن در حمایت از مقاومت و قیام مردم ایران.
روز جمعه 8 مارس، روز جهانی زن، ایرانیان آزاده از سراسر آمریکا با برگزاری گردهمایی و تظاهراتی در واشینگتن در میدان فریدم پلازا به سوی کاخ سفید راهپیمایی کردند. در جریان این تظاهرات شماری از اعضای کنگره و شخصیت‌های سیاسی با سخنرانی و با ارسال پیام همبستگی و حمایت خود را از مقاومت سازمان یافته و خواست مردم ایران برای سرنگونی فاشیسم مذهبی اعلام کردند. امیر عمادی از سوی سازمان جوامع ایرانیان مقیم آمریکا ضمن خوشامدگویی به حاضران گفت:
Here today to declare our support for the nationwide movement in Iran that's calling for freedom and democracy. The uprising that began in December of 2017 is continued. Its demand is to end the religious dictatorship. And our native land, Iran, has witnessed several waves of unprecedented nationwide protests, strikes, and demonstrations in both large and small cities.
وی با اشاره به هزاران دستگیری و شکنجه و قتل دستگیر شدگان قیام و توسل رژیم آخوندی به سرکوب و توحش هرچه بیشتر برای مهار اوضاع افزود:
One clear indication is the new appointment of the head of the judiciary, Ibrahim Raisi, a repressive mullah infamously known for his role in the death commission in the 1988 massacre of 30,000 political prisoners, mostly members of the MEK. Yet the people of Iran are not giving up. There is not a day that goes by in Iran where posters of Iranian leaders are not set on fire. There is not a day that goes by where slogans in favor of the Iranian resistance is not written on the walls. These are just a few of the examples of the efforts by the resistance units inside Iran. This is the work of the Underground Resistance Council in every city. And we are so proud to stand here and support and ensure their voice is heard here in Washington, D.C. We are gathering here in the Freedom Plaza, which reminds everybody that it is all about freedom. And our gathering here and speeches will lead to a march named Iran Freedom March, which would end across the White House.
Thank you very much. It is wonderful to see you in this very aptly named Freedom Plaza. people want, and most importantly, what the people of Iran want is freedom. But that freedom will not come unless there is regime change in Tehran. We have heard for too long promises that there was moderation coming to Iran, that the current leaders of Iran, Mr. Rouhani, would bring a measure of moderation, but that has not happened. What has happened is a regime that continues to engage in extrajudicial killings, that continues to oppress the Iranian people. And in this month of March, when we celebrate women's freedom, it is important to remember that more than half of the people of Iran do not have equal treatment. The women of Iran are under the heel of the Rouhani regime and the clerics who run that regime. As Iranians gather in cities around the country and ask for economic change, for freedom, for equal treatment of women, for a judiciary that is free and fair and gives equal treatment to all, what we see this month alone is that the man who was responsible for the killing not of 300 people, not of 3,000 people, but of 30,000 people in 1988, Ibrahim Raisi, has been named to the head of the judiciary. How can there be freedom when you have a monster who killed people? He killed people of all ages. He killed people who were both men and women. Pregnant women were executed under Raisi. So were children, young girls, 15-year-old girls, tortured and then executed by this monster. So we must say no to this regime. We must press for freedom, for all of the things that Madam Rajavi has promised the Iranian people: free elections, a free press, the separation of religion and the state, equal treatment for both men and women, and independent judiciary. All of these things are necessary, but it will only come from the activities of people like you in every city across America, but it will also take the people of Iran. I have been very pleased to work with the PMOI for many, many years, going back to the early 1990s when I was at the United Nations. I have stood by and sponsored your resolutions and spoken out for the horrible regime in Tehran. And I have been proud to do so and to stand with all of you. And again, I am happy to welcome you here to Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States of America. Long live the Iranian people.
My brothers and sisters, no rain, no sleet, no snow will stifle the strong commitment of freedom that all of us believe in. I salute your courage for being here, even in a nation when we can speak freely and that we stand against oppression. I am committed to a free and democratic Iran. Where all people can speak, where young people can grow up and select the careers and jobs and be free to speak and to run in a democratic society. I am delighted that my sister, when we were in Paris together, indicated her strength that she would never give up, never give out, and never give in to any oppression. I am delighted that she stands strong in Paris and will continue to stand for the Iranian people. of light. It is one of strength. And I believe in what you believe in. The Iranian people want regime change. We want people to do it in a democratic manner, in a strong manner. We want the nuclear capacity to be contained so that we can focus on the investment in the people of Iran. We thank you so very much for the leadership that you've given. I am a believer in democracy. I'm a believer in your strength. I'm a believer in your determination, your perseverance. I am here to support the young people of Iran. We will live on forever and freedom will come.
Change, change, change! Regime change in Iran! Change, change, change! Regime change in Iran! Change, change, change! Regime change in Iran!
It's a little bit chilly out here, but I don't think you're going to let a little cold weather stop you, are you? By the way, they need to hear you in the White House. They need to hear you on Capitol Hill. There are millions of Iranians who don't let prison or torture or hunger or death stop them from protesting. Do you stand with them? Yes or no? I didn't hear you. Are you afraid of the mullahs in Tehran? Yes or no? Do they speak for the people of Iran? Are you ready to take your country back? We're here today to call for a brighter future for Iran. 40 years of clerical rule have destroyed a once proud and prosperous nation. For 40 years, the Iranian people have been suffering. Today, 30 to 40% of them are unemployed. 33%, or 26 million people, are now living in absolute poverty. In fact, 6 million Iranians are starving. And while the Iranian people starve, the people who rule them just become richer and richer. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei controls hundreds of billions of dollars. His former Minister of Justice, Larijani, who is in charge of prosecuting corruption, has 63 bank accounts, personal bank accounts, with tens of millions of dollars. I ask you, is this fair? No! Is this something we should just accept and do nothing about? Of course not. That's why, since December of 2017, millions of people in all 31 provinces of Iran have taken to the streets and to say goodbye to the mullahs in Tehran. And what has the regime done? Everything in its power to stop them and to silence them. But still the protests continue. And what this tells us is that the regime cannot stop the people of Iran. And why is that? Why? Because the people of Iran have had enough. They prefer death to the corrupt, unjust rule of the mullahs. Like you, they're willing to sacrifice everything for a brighter future. And what does that future look like? Well, the National Council of Resistance of Iran has a pretty good idea. Just take a look at the 10-point plan of NCRI President-elect Mariam Rajavi. What does it call for? It calls for separation of church and state. It calls for abolition of the death penalty. It calls for gender equality. And it calls for freedom of the press and speech. NCRI and its millions of supporters want to see an Iran that is free, that is democratic, and that is non-nuclear. That's what we're fighting for. And that's what the regime of Tehran fears the most. That is why it views NCRI and the Mujahideen al-Khalq as an existential threat. That is why they tried to bomb the Free Iran rally in Paris last June. That is why the regime orchestrated 3 major terrorist attacks in the United States, France, and Albania. It is why President Rouhani personally called French President Macron to demand that he limit the activities of the NCRI in France. Alhamdulillah, Macron refused. It is also why the regime in Iran has appointed Ibrahim Raisi as its new Minister of Justice, the man who was a member of the death committees, which was responsible for the deaths of 30,000 of your fellow Iranian citizens. That tells us more than anything the direction that the Iranian regime is going and why. Because they're afraid. They're afraid of losing their jobs, and inshallah they will very soon. It is also why the regime of Iran has launched a demonization campaign against you, against the NCRI, against the MEK. They have produced in the past few years hundreds of books and videos demonizing the MEK. They offered a Canadian think tank $80,000 to refer to the MEK as a cult. What does all this tell us? It tells us that the MEK, the NCRI, and all of you are effective. You're having an impact. Nothing speaks to the success of your efforts than that the Iranian regime wants to silence you, wants to kill you, wants you to go away. It tells us that the Iranian regime is willing to use every power they have to destroy you. Are they going to succeed? No! The more they attack you, the more they strengthen you. And the more they strengthen our resolve. That's what they need to understand. And that's why we're here today, to send them an unambiguous message. We will not go away. You cannot make us go away. The only people who are going to go away are you. My message to you and to the government of the United States today is very simple. Empower the people of Iran. They are strong. They are capable. And they're determined to succeed in overthrowing this evil and illegitimate regime. The future is in your hands. Nothing and no one can stop you. Thank you very much.
Justice,